Federation, you made it.
Barely. There's a lot of collateral damage out here.
They'd backed us into a corner.
We did that to drive them out. Put some space between us and the enemy. They're here. Get down!
I think they've given up on capture.
We'll never make it if we go back that way. You, give me a hand with this! Go! Go! Behind us!
Federation, you take the lead. We'll keep them busy.
No! You can't just run in there.
Must live to fight.
We let the enemy take them. Hadri and Private Turo.
They weren't the only ones. But if we hadn't, it would have been all of us. I'll have to live with that, and I'll answer for it when I die. It's not the Illidian way to leave one of our own behind. It's a sin to do so.
We've lost people too. I know it's not easy.
What makes it worse is that when we were in there, trapped, Hadri is the one who said that we had to live to fight. And we all agreed. We said if one of us was taken, the others wouldn't stop. We'd keep going, make our way to the bridge. They died so we could fight on.
The Takan don't want them dead.
They want to steal their bodies. And steal their minds.
The Takan knows everything the host knows.
That means they know our plan. They know we're heading to the bridge.
Tylus, you should be in sickbay.
I'll finish this.
I
couldn't just lie there knowing the entire fate of Hotari hangs in the balance. How did it go? You look exhausted.
It went about as well as could be expected, under the circumstances.
Oh, that's a relief, because I was fearing the worst. I heard a rumor that they'd made a deal, that the Elydians agreed to peace. After what we saw Sidron do to the diplomat in the mines, I could hardly believe there was hope, but then... Is that true?
I'm afraid the truth is far worse than that.
There's no deal.
No. They're all Takon now. The Hotari, the Elydians, everyone.
No. That can't be true.
I'm sorry.
Where will I go? I can't go back. I don't have a home anymore. Everything I've ever known is gone.
Hotari isn't lost yet. This is far from over. It will be your home again, I promise.
Thank you.
The Federation stands with the Hotari. You don't have to doubt it for a second.
Yellow alert.
Commander Rydick, we need you on the bridge immediately. We've got an Elydian ship, the Veskar, rapidly bearing down on our position.
Or what was the Veskar. Now I'm not so sure.
Bring it up on the view screen.
600 kilometers in closing. Still coming straight for us. Commander?
Should we put our shields up? Just as a precautionary measure.
I'd like to avoid escalating this any more than we have to. Whatever the hell this is.
400 kilometers in closing.
Shields up. Ready phasers.
Shields up. Phasers ready. It's incoming.
Lock phasers and open fire.
Heavy damage. But deflectors still at full power?
That bypassed our shields entirely.
That's impossible. God damn it, return fire. Everything we've got. Rydick, modulate the shield frequencies. See if we can get us any cover.
Commander,
I got this. Just keep firing.
Shields still have no effect.
That doesn't make sense.
I'll try another. There!
We've got incoming! How do they keep matching our shield frequency?
They couldn't. Unless... They've compromised our shield algorithms. They can bypass our shields at will.
What?
Captain!
He's out cold.
Why'd they stop?
Damage report.
Running on emergency power. Major hull damage on decks 4 through 7. Warp core is stable and intact.
We're completely vulnerable.
Commander, we're being held by the Veskar. It's Galvin.
On screen.
Commander Rydick, where's your captain? Not dead, I hope. At least, not yet.
Don't take it personally, but he had better things to do than talk to you.
Did he? Well, perhaps he's busy repairing his pathetic little ship. I have to give you credit, Commander. You survived longer than I thought you would. But make no mistake, your shields are useless, your weapons ineffective, and there's nothing you can do. I could destroy you at any moment. But I'd rather hear your pleas for mercy first. Your existence is entirely in my hands, and I'm not in a forgiving mood.
It's entirely possible you could destroy us. But the truth is, we're worth more to you alive than dead. Better if we report back to Starfleet about the power of Taconian technology, and the futility of fighting it.
There might be value in that. I've been thinking about what you said, Commander. You claimed I would be held accountable. And here I am. Hold me accountable.
The Veskar's weapons are powering up.
But of course, now you are entirely at my mercy. So I've decided to let you live. Because there's merit to the idea you're worth more to me alive. Tell your Federation that Takan are as merciful as they are powerful. That you were fortunate to escape with your lives.
And one day you'll be the one begging us for mercy.
I doubt that.
I've lost their signal.
Can you track their warp signature?
Nothing. It's untraceable, just like before.
Notify Ambassador Spock. I want everyone in the briefing room to discuss our options.
What's the status of the repairs?
Hull breach should be patched up in a matter of hours. Impulse power is at 67%. Should be fully restored soon.
Still no luck tracking Galvin's warp signature. They've all but disappeared.
Keep trying. Finding that son of a bitch is the best shot we've got.
Commander Rydek, you had the Khan after the ship was attacked. What is your assessment, given our current situation and the losses we have suffered?
I'd rather not fight this alone. We need to call for reinforcements.
In that case, we might have an option. Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire. If anyone could find Galvin, it would be him.
That's assuming he's willing to help us.
True, but there's only one way to find out.
Wouldn't we need to secure authorization from the Federation Council to contact him?
The nearest Federation outpost is Angoria. I can travel there by shuttle and inform them personally of the threat from the Takan. Meanwhile, the Resolute can travel to the Delphi Ardu system in search of Portal 6-3.
I still have my doubts.
I do not. Captain William T. Riker has first-hand experience with the area and with Portal 6-3. His guidance will prove invaluable and should alleviate your concerns.
Delphi Ardu 4 is a restricted zone for good reason. For all we know, we could be walking into a trap. Not to mention the high likelihood Portal 6-3's allegiance will be with the Takan. It's just too much of a risk. A waste of time. Time we can't afford to lose.
According to Commander Riker's records of meeting Portal 6-3, he was willing to listen to reason. We may be able to convince him that Galvin is wrong.
Or he'll just be happy to learn his civilization is making a comeback. In which case, we only compound the problem.
I am inclined to agree with Commander Rydek. Her logic is sound. This portal may have knowledge that proves to be invaluable, including information on the nature of the Cartabula. We must act on the facts at hand.
Then we'll give it our best.
I'll arrange a meeting with Captain Riker.
And I will speak with the Council. They need to understand the magnitude of the situation. I can leave for Andoria immediately. I wish you luck finding Portal 6-3. The very future of the Federation may rest in your hands.
It takes a minimum of 8 crew on the bridge to run the ship, so we can expect at least that many hostiles.
If they bioformed Hadri, they know we're coming.
Which means everyone needs to be ready for...
Now what? We getting there.
I'll cover you. On my signal. Now!
Looking for the bridge doors. Wait, what's this?
Got something?
Gravity. If I invert the artificial gravity inside the bridge, that'll throw anyone on the bridge right up into the ceiling.
He'll never see it coming.
Hey, Tosca, get ready to charge.
Charge?
Gravity polarity. Now!
Amazing.
Close in!
How do we get them down? What are we gonna do with them?
We don't have time to take prisoners.
So you're just gonna shoot him?
I haven't decided yet.
That's not just up to you.
I'm the ranking officer.
And we're not in your army.
It may not be convenient, but we don't kill enemies who've surrendered.
Keeping prisoners is a luxury we don't have.
It's not a damn luxury.
You're an engineer, not a soldier. This is clearly my territory.
You think you have enemy combatants here? This is a hostage situation. Each one of them has an innocent life inside. I'll keep watch on them.
As will I. We can't let our guard down around the enemy.
Petty Officer Diaz and I will figure out how to stop the ship.
Let's hurry. The rest of the Takan could show up any minute. Crystals. They're all over this place. We're gonna be there in less than an hour.
We can't let that happen.
Hold on, it would take days to go this distance with our fastest ship. We're traveling at a warp factor many times greater than this ship should even be capable of. What are the engines doing to produce this kind of speed?
Look here. It's navigational data.
We saw that already. Headed to the edge of the galaxy.
It's only a display. We couldn't use it to change course or alter speed.
These crystals are Takan technology. They seem to be active, just like the rest of their tech. Tetrametric pulses.
Tetrametric?
It's the energy signature of Takan technology. Everything they make gives off this type of radiation.
They're blocking the inputs. It's not responding at all. Everything I try, it just ignores me.
Maybe we should try that other console.
Good idea.
Gotta figure this out before we get wherever we're going. Resolute can't catch up to us. We're in a whole different kind of trouble. It's the Takan language.
From what I can tell, the ship's systems are actively responding to input.
Which is the opposite of how most bridges work. They usually send commands, not receive them.
It's from an intrusive program. This control station won't do us any good either. What have they done to this bridge?
Consoles running themselves, some clogged up with crystals that are sending off tetrametric pulses.
But none of this is sending signals outward. It's receiving.
They're flying the ship from somewhere else.
That should be impossible. But it explains why there's less than a full bridge crew. If they aren't flying the ship from the bridge, where are they controlling it from? Careful where you point that thing.
It's not active. I can't see any way this would work as a weapon. It's dead.
Out of ammo?
Not sure. Where's the captain?
Captain Ostego did not survive the atmosphere poisoning.
I'm sorry to hear that.
He died defending the Empire. That's how he'd want it.
Engine's a red line, running at full power. But this main drive manifold is spiking way over nominal levels.
Very dangerous.
Even at 100% output, the warp cores wouldn't push this much plasma to the drive section.
The reactor output matches the high speed, doesn't it?
Whether it's these crystals, or the power from the Cartabula, the Takana found a way to increase the engine output and top speed. We have to find a way to hit the brakes before we outrun anyone who could help us.
We stop it, so they can't get this ship where they're going, and enact the next phase of their plan. That is, if they don't destroy us all first. I would have thought this ship would disintegrate going this speed. But somehow, that hasn't happened yet.
So what is their endgame? They've transformed individuals, they've transformed this ship, in a way. How far will they go?
As far as we let them. Their technology certainly doesn't seem to have limits.
I hate to think what the Cartabula could do if it was plugged into something it was meant to power. That's everything. Got some answers.
I don't like what they tell us, though.
If we can learn nothing else, then what's left is to make these Takan talk. And if they don't, we'll dispose of them.
Hey, that's not how we do this.
That is enough from you. I thought that thing was useless.
It was. No power. Until he touched it. Weapons must be bio-coded.
Our technology will only work for one of our kind.
I can assure you, this weapon works just fine for me.
Slow down, Armenta.
You can't control the ship with a disruptor.
But I can use it to control you.
Ah!
The Titan's communications officer says Captain Riker will be ready in just a moment. You need to see this. The report on the data breach.
Damn. It's worse than I'd hoped. They didn't just compromise our shields. They stole the shield algorithms for all of Starfleet as well. Meaning every ship is potentially vulnerable to attack, making this so much worse than it already was.
So we're completely defenseless against the Takan.
It looks that way, yes.
I have Captain Riker for you.
Let's not mention any of this shield business to Riker just yet. Put him through. Captain Riker, this is my first officer, Commander Jara Rydek.
My pleasure.
Sir.
I wish we were all meeting under better circumstances.
So do I, although you and I have actually met before.
We have?
I was a young lieutenant on the Potemkin. You were first officer on the Tuckerman. I piloted you and our science officer in a shuttle to survey quantum resonance in the planetary rings of Resurgence 6.
Ah, yes. Now I remember.
You know, he gave me some good advice that day about a very difficult job. Yours.
Well, I'm not one to turn down some words of wisdom, sir.
And let me ask, as first officer on a starship, where does your responsibility lie, first and foremost? To the captain, the crew, or the ship itself?
Oh, this old chestnut. I am curious to hear what she says, though.
Ultimately, my responsibility is to the crew at large.
The needs of the many. You have been hanging around Ambassador Spock. But the truth is, it's a trick question. Every situation is different, and there are no easy answers. And in some cases, it might not be any of those three. It could be the prime directive, or the mission.
Yes, so perhaps we should get to the matter at hand. When you were with the Enterprise, you encountered a Takan entity known as Portal 6-3. The Enterprise was held captive in orbit until you were able to convince him to let the ship go.
All of which is detailed in the mission report.
What we want from you is what we can't get from the report. What can we use to get Portal 6-3 to help us?
I've often thought about that over the years. How a small difference in the encounter could have led to disaster. The most important thing is, don't let him push you around. He can appear as a man or as a godlike projection. He'll test you, but don't be overwhelmed by the pageantry and theatrics.
I'll stand up to him. You can trust in that.
Good, but that's just the first step. Portal is full of bluster and bravado, but he can be reasoned with. And that's my other piece of advice. You want to appeal to him rationally. You don't want him thinking you're acting out of fear.
But we are afraid of the Takan, and with good reason.
He's not the sort to suffer fools. And he'll lose interest if he feels his time is being wasted.
I suppose that's one thing we have in common.
Do you think he knows that the Takan have returned?
He didn't even know they were gone when we went there. But the moment the Enterprise dropped into orbit around Delphi Ardu 4, he downloaded the entirety of the ship's computer. So I'd expect the same when you get there.
What if he won't cooperate and we have to face these Takan ourselves?
Then we have a much bigger problem on our hands.
What I mean is, in the 16 years since you discovered this outpost, there has to have been research. Battle plans for what to do about the Takan if we encountered more of them. I need to know what they are.
If I had that answer, it would have been the first thing I told you.
We both know Command has had their share of hidden plans in the past. Like Admiral Hansen and Captain Shelby's Special Projects Division at Starfleet Tactical, devising new ways to take on the Borg.
Trust me, this isn't some Starfleet conspiracy to keep you in the dark. But if you two don't think you're equipped to make contact, you need to tell me now. Because there is no silver bullet here. Now's not the time to hesitate. I need to know you're up to this.
You're not the only one who's met the Takan anymore. We've faced them in combat. We're not just the right ones for the job. We're the only ones.
All right. Asked and answered. There was a special task force that considered the Takan, and I was part of it. But because there were no other signs of the Empire, we determined the best course of action was to create a restricted zone around the Delphi Ardu system. I have my concerns, but I'll clear the way with the brass for your travel into the restricted space. Just remember what I've told you. And it wouldn't hurt to read some Sun Tzu en route. Or Marcus Aurelius.
Anything else?
Machiavelli?
Your advice is well taken, Captain Riker. No matter what he throws at us, we'll stand up to this Takan Guardian.
I'm sure you will. Rest assured, the Federation is taking this threat very seriously. won't be alone out there for too long.
Thank you, Captain Riker.
One more thing. Ambassador Spock said that Khan stole some data from your central computer. What's that all about?
We're still assessing the extent of the breach. Nothing to report as of right now.
That's it? Ambassador Spock suggested it was something more serious, which is why I'm asking.
One thing we know is that they stole Starfleet shield algorithms.
The shield algorithms? That could jeopardize every ship in the fleet.
We're still making sure our assessment is accurate. We don't want to raise alarms unnecessarily.
This is as real as it gets, Solano. I have to talk to Starfleet Command now, so I think this conversation has come to an end. I really do hope you get Portal 6-3 and find those Khan before this gets out of control. Riker out.
I specifically said I wanted to keep this under wraps. I thought we had an understanding. Now all of Starfleet will hear about this.
Considering this is new information Ambassador Spock doesn't have yet, I figured Captain Riker would be the closest to communicate directly with Starfleet Command.
Now the cat's out of the bag. I have to think about the damage control of it all. You're dismissed.
It's the automated Federation warning buoy. Transmitting the disable code Captain Riker provided.
That was unpleasant. Commander Ermont, what are the conditions of our systems?
All internal systems operational.
Commander Westbrook, what are your scans of the planet?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
No sign of this outrageously powerful Khan being?
I'm running a magneton scan now, but so far, nothing.
Where are you? Prep your way, team. We don't know if Portal 6-3 will cooperate. He's not an asset. He's an enemy. So be ready for anything. Prove you're worth keeping alive for a little while longer.
I cannot stop this ship any more than you could stop the tides.
Not good enough.
The impotent threats of a lower life form do not sway me. I will not bend to you. I was born 600,000 years ago. But a new age dawns today.
I liked you a lot better when you were Ryan Kapoor. A pain in the ass sometimes, but a stand-up guy when it counted.
You weren't friends with the one who gave up this body.
He didn't give it, you took it. And all the others.
My name is Zon Glosa. I was born in the final days of the Age of Makto. I am but one of many. We who took a leap of faith across the bridge of time to be reborn in these bodies.
Eventually, one of you will break.
You don't understand how overmatched you truly are. This craft was nothing before we imbued it with the speed required by our mission. And the Cartabula produces enough energy to drive an entire fleet of ships like this one. But when we wake the Athelion, we won't need a fleet.
The Aphelion?
Only then will you understand the might of the Khan Empire. Reborn in this time.
And when you wake the Aphelion, what are you going to do with it?
Anything we want.
Come on! This goes from bad to worse unless you do what they say.
It's coming alive.
He can't stop the ship.
Then he will. Or we cut off his hands and use them ourselves.
The moment I reduce speed or change our heading, the others will know. First, they'll just resume course from elsewhere. Trivial matter. And then, they will come here. For you, this is a dead end.
Wouldn't you want that? You'd take the ship off course, your friends come here to your rescue. So why are you warning us?
Because I value my own life. When my fellow Scions come, and they will come, I expect you'll all act like the savages you are, and a battle wounds you. You've all died once. I don't intend to do so again. I won't touch those controls. If you want to get us killed, do it yourselves.
You fear death. There's a way to stop this ship for good, and he knows how. He just needs more pressure.
What kind of pressure?
We heard him. He'll talk. Trust me.
That's against Starfleet protocol.
You're not on a Starfleet ship. Your protocol does not apply. We take the action that will lead to our victory. Don't assume your moral code takes precedence above all others.
I'm not gonna torture them. Not like this. There's gotta be something we can work with here. Engine status. Right. The warp cores are still practically redlined. Going this fast, it would be too dangerous to force a warp collapse by cracking one of the propulsion coils. It could rupture the hull, end up damaging the Cartabula in the process.
And that risks tearing a hole in space.
We can't have that.
However they've supercharged the Zeldi, it still relies on existing systems.
They just amplify the output?
But the Takan have already interfaced with those systems. The controls will be no use. So we'd have to find a way to manually shut down the warp cores.
Might not be a manual shutdown as much as it'll be sabotage.
No one appears to be guarding it. I think I can get us there. But once we're in, do you really think you can cripple my ship? Not something I'd normally ask. But I'm coming around to it.
Well, usually I'm the guy fixing the things that go wrong on a starship. I'm sure I can figure out a way to break it.
You may even find you like destroying things.
This plan of yours has one problem. It strands us. Left out of the fight when there is a war going on.
Our fight is here, now. This is how we do the most good. For the Empire.
For the Empire.
So, Carter, you didn't beam out after all. I thought you'd escaped when we boarded. I had almost hoped you'd made it off. And Millie's there with you too, right? It's good you two are together.
Sounds like you miss me.
We can still be friends, Carter. You just need to understand something first. You're not a fighter. I know it. You know it. That's why you're hiding. Somewhere on this ship. But the Takan Empire has so much to offer you. Think of all the knowledge lost for 500,000 years that you'd have access to. I know you want more from life, and I want to show you what you could be a part of. Not just the wonders you've already seen from us. In our time, we had the power to move stars. Carter, you have a thirst for discovery. And a part of you would remain to experience the things I can show you. But if you try to fight it...
You don't know what you're doing. Miranda, we can help you, but you have to fight.
Miranda is a part of us now. She's accepted that.
You're lying.
I have no reason to lie. Every one of us on this crusade has fought wars more brutal and consuming than you could fathom. But I want to reach a peaceful resolution to this. Carter, we have a plan for you. And for the others, too. We don't want to have to destroy you.
I'll negotiate with Miranda. Our Miranda. When you release her.
She's still here. In a way. We can continue this conversation in person. I'll see you on the bridge very soon.
Our comm badges. She's tracking our location with them.
If we have to use force to free our fellow Scions, there will be casualties.
We can't stay here. And we need to disable the transmitters.
Where'd you go? You don't want to talk to me?
She's trying to keep you talking.
I mean, I get it. But I'm trying to help you.
Got it.
Mine's done too.
Time to hit the road.
You've forgotten something. They know where we're going.
Set to stun. You're not going to shoot a guy who's unconscious, are you?
You keep getting in my way.
We've managed this far without doing it your way.
We are hardly in control of this situation. And now we have loose ends.
Solve the problem of what to do with him. Now let's move it.
Our coordinates match the exact location where Riker met Portal 6-3.
Unlike Riker's team, we beamed down without a problem.
It's quiet.
Portal has to know we're here.
If he won't come to us, we'll go to him. Spread out.
Already gave it a scan. Dead. Whole planet feels like it's been turned to stone.
Doctor?
Commander, keeping an eye on those iridium levels? Good. Last thing we need are your cells destabilizing on a hostile alien planet.
If I recall right, Geordi LaForge transported in here, hanging upside down.
I guess we're lucky we were spared the indignity.
Anything unusual, Commander?
It's all unusual, to be honest. We've precious little data on this planet, so brief was Captain Riker's visit. Anything he didn't see himself is a total unknown.
We deal with unknowns all the time. Part of the job.
I'm accustomed to dealing with the unknown from my station on the bridge.
This is where Portal 6-3 projected his image.
He was guarding this bridge. That has to mean something.
We'll move forward when you're ready, Commander.
Follow me. Ends here. Is it me, or did that path just disappear?
There was a path there a moment ago.
There must be an explanation.
Tetrametric pulses.
Same energy as the other Takan technology.
Most of the crystals appear dormant. What's different about this one?
Readings indicate there's a cavity in the rock right behind it.
We could try melting a hole through the wall with our phasers.
Worth a try. An illusion.
I'm sure that wall was as real as the rest of them. I felt it.
It's almost like our holodeck technology, but far more advanced.
The crystals must be absorbing the energy from our phasers.
I'm picking up something. A biosignature. It's faint, but it's there.
With me.
Another dead end.
Or another illusion.
Crewman LaRue, if you would.
Duval to Resolute. Beam crewman LaRue directly to medical.
Is he okay?
He'll live.
Not all crystals work the same, it seems.
Don't fire your phasers at any crystals unless we're sure they're putting out the same pulses as before. Tetrametric. Good sign.
Commander!
Look at that.
Trust, but verify.
Indeed.
We don't have any data about what's below the surface on Delphi Ardu 4. And I don't feel a particularly strong urge to find out.
Then that makes two of us. Good. Tetrametric. Better go see what's different.
way's clear. Good work, Commander.
We'll make sure it's safe.
Incredible.
The plants here are actually alive. Is this the biosignature you detected, Doctor?
No, not a match.
Tetrametric.
Then it's creating an illusion as well.
Based on the data we have so far.
Only one thing left to do.
Doctor, be ready to beam us out if it turns out we're wrong.
Duval to Resolute. Lock transporter on away team.
Amazing.
There's nothing like this in any Federation record.
The plans.
Barbarians.
It's him.
How dare you disturb me? I'd hoped you had enough sense to leave of your own accord, but here you stand. Fools. In another time, I would have destroyed you and your ship simply for setting foot in this place. Fortunately for you, that time has passed.
Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire. We've come a long way to meet you.
Guardian? I am guardian of nothing. The Takan no longer exist. Don't care to be reminded. If this is why you've come, then you should leave. Now.
I'll cut right to it. The Takan have returned.
Returned? My people have come back? How can that be? I've been alone for so long. If it is true, how did they return?
Taconian technology made it possible. To enable the transfer of consciousness from one being to another after physical death. We call it bioforming. A group of Taconians calling themselves Scions of the Flame used it to reawaken after hundreds of millennia.
Scions of the Flame?
Is something wrong?
I'd hardly call them Takan. They were a radical faction with beliefs outside the mainstream. Beliefs that lesser life forms should serve as vessels to ensure Takan immortality. You want me to help you destroy them. That's why you've come. You want to destroy these Scions.
There is a war looming that could engulf the Quadrant. We want you to help us bring about peace before it gets to that point.
Peace always comes at a cost.
They have an incredibly powerful energy source they call the Cartabula.
These Scions have the Cartabula.
And they've used it as a weapon against us.
I will speak with you alone.
What are you